Okay, welcome to the Marketing Club. I'll say that one more time. Welcome to the Marketing Club. You are now tuned in to another great room where you can learn about some things that can help your business grow, can help your business flow, help your business go to the next level, go to the next step in life. And majority of the time, we don't really see these things until something happens. So I want to show you how things can happen and things will happen when you take this room, this topic, and this conversation seriously so that you can also help yourself, help your business, help the people around you, and ultimately help your business thrive. Because it's one thing for your business to thrive, it's another thing for your business to survive. I'll say that again. It's one thing for your business to thrive, and it's also one thing for your business to survive. If your business is struggling or surviving, then there's some things we have to look out for, right? We have to make sure that we are on the same page, we're doing the same things, we're connecting the same things together. Like everything should be working towards a goal. So, this goal today is to help you understand how to convert your keywords into money. And welcome, Rose. I see you got the party hat. So I'm going to say welcome to Clubhouse. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, Cuckoo. I see you, Candice, Jack, and Muna. Thanks for being here. We just kicked off the room, and I'm so glad that you're here to share this space with me today. I was planning to do this room earlier this morning, but it's been really hard because I'm currently in Dallas, so I haven't been able to do much because today I was doing a podcast interview and it was a live interview and it was really exciting, but we had to spend all morning. So it's been a really busy day. And I said, hey, if I'm not going to do this room in the morning, I'm definitely going to do this room in the evening. So I'm glad I'm able to do this now because when I say I want to do something, I want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So thanks for taking the time to be here with us today. This is an SEO Masterclass. And an SEO Masterclass is one thing that you do not want to miss because I'm going to be giving you some really cool insights today, how you can convert. The keyword here is convert. Convert, convert, convert. And I'm going to show you how to do that today so that when you're thinking about conversions or the next time you post something online, you're thinking about not just money, not just currency, but people, impact, and retention. I'll say it again: people, impact, and retention. That's a PIR method. People, those things. Hey, John, welcome to the room.
Good evening. How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm good, thank you. We're just kicking things off, and I'm excited about today's topic. I was supposed to do this earlier today, but I said it's going to be hard because I'm just all over the place moving. But I said I'm going to make sure I'm doing this room today. At whatever time it is, I'll make sure it's done. So I'm glad we were able to do this. I was just getting off a call with a client. We were literally setting up some ads for billboards because the company, they do printing and they're able to even print like 1,000 shirts in an hour. And we were trying to figure out some places in Georgia, specifically in Atlanta, Lawrenceville to be very precise, where they have their office location, and we're trying to run billboard ads around there. So we found a spot where we found four billboards that we can run for about $600. So we'd run it up to 1,000 so that we can get more than the average, above average, and we're going to be reaching about 61,000 people, which is an excellent score. So on average, we're hitting about 15,000 people a week, just telling them to go to this place if they need it. So this is something that is so important. And when you think about keywords and turning them into money, we're going to talk about how words count. You know how they say words matter? What you say matters, how you say things matter. That's the same thing that we're going to do, because anyone can run a billboard, anyone can run an ad, anyone can start a podcast, anyone can start a room on Clubhouse, anyone can start a podcast today. Some people have probably started an episode today on a podcast today. Some people may have just gotten their license today. Things are happening daily. So if you want to finally turn and convert your keywords into money, the major thing we're going to focus on in today's room are two things. One, we're going to be focusing on emails. How do your emails work? Welcome, Julie. I see you as well. Welcome to room, Laura. I see you too. Bless, Christy, Mark, Jack, Bosio, Jansen. Thanks again for being here. And Dredge, if I said it correctly. Abs, Tiny Elephant. That's Jeffrey, Vici, and Jose. Thanks for being here today. The first thing is emails. That's how you're going to convert your keywords into money. Emails. Like, if you send an email, you're guaranteed there's some type of residual coming in. And I'll break that down a little further. Hey, Julie, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yay,
Yay.
yay.
Best day of the week.
It is one of the best days in the week. Everyone feels great on a Friday. So I'm glad we're here this evening as well. So, first thing, guys, is email. The second thing is website. You can flip it, you can vice versa it, you can reverse it, you can A/B test it, but those two things is what's going to turn keywords into money. Your email list and your website. Why? Because when you buy a website, or when you build a website, or when you launch a website, that website has a domain. And then when you have a website, your website has a professional email attached to it. That's why when they tell you, hey, congratulations, you just bought your domain, do you want to get a mailbox? Right? When you just set up a store, a physical store, or if you have a brick and mortar, they'll say, hey, welcome, first day in, they're going to tell you to, activate your your mailbox, because you want to start receiving commercial mail, right? So when you're thinking about email, electronic mail, post mail, right? Those things are important, because in a mail, it's very delicate, it's very sensitive, it's for you. That's why when you hear people talk about emails, whether it's politicians or corporate or businesses, email is a big thing. We've seen what has happened in the past with emails, being compromised, being checked, being phished. Those things are very sensitive. That's why I believe here and I think it's a standard global thing. It's illegal for you to open somebody else's mail. If that name is not you, you shouldn't open that email, right? You shouldn't open that mail, because it's not addressed to you. It's not in copy to you, right? Because it's personal to them. So if you want to convert your keywords into money, it's somebody's words and somebody's money. There's a term with SEO, it says YMYL. It stands for your money, your life, meaning that you choose what you want to do with your money because it's your life. You earned it, you deserve it. You can splurge, you can save, you can invest. It's up to you. But when you start thinking about where to start investing your money into to get your money back plus more, think about keywords, emails, right? And domains. Welcome, Juliana and Elisa. Good to have you all here. When you think about domains, your domain is a big thing. When you hear the word domain, like the word itself sounds authoritative, right? Domain, right? Even lion's mane, you've heard that before. If you drink lion's mane, it's good for brain recovery, it's good for brain functioning as well. When you hear the word domain, right? That's DOMAIN. So what's the main thing that you're dominating on the web? And if you have traffic, that traffic should equals to leads. You can't have 100,000 impressions, 1,000 impressions, 10,000 impressions. Those impressions look good, but if you don't have 1 to 10% of them at the very least in your email list, that's going to drive you down the drain at some point. Not because you're not doing it correctly or your business is not flourishing or it's not working. It's just because you've not positioned yourself, at the right place at the right time for the right people to see you. So when you're converting your keywords into money, you're focusing on four things, right? You're focusing on four things. You're focusing on one, informational keywords, right? What are informational keywords? How to tie a tie, how to bake a cake. What is this? What is the definition of that? Those are informational keywords, and that contributes to a huge amount. I would say maybe close to over 50%, if not more, on the web. If you just type in insurance on Google, you're going to get billions of results, right? Because there are millions, billions of content pieces you can get online, right? Because that's information. Information is available. You know how they say information is power? But it's power when you use it. It's powerful when you apply it, right? You can be given power, you may not use it. The lights may turn on, but you may not use the lights for anything, right? So it's power to apply. It's not power to sit. So when you apply those keywords and you're putting those informational keywords into your email, into your copy, into your podcast, into your website, right? You're feeding into a system. You're feeding into an algorithm. That's why I said convert your keywords into money, because it's a translation. So when you translate words into money, it makes sense. When people are making big deals, when they're signing contracts, they're words they're saying. It's communication, it's negotiation, right? Those words, those exchange of words leads to a signing, leads to some type of deal, because you use the words, you use some specific keywords. If there were some words you didn't say in that meeting, you probably wouldn't have gotten that deal. So those words are key because those words actually access the vault. I usually say keywords are the keys to your business, because if someone is looking for a key to open a door, you can't use the wrong key to open the right door. So you have to open the door with the right key, and the right key are the right words to say so that the money can flow and the currency can flow as well. So you have to think about keywords informational wise. Then there's navigation keywords, right? Navigational keywords, your login. Let's say you do wholesale pricing. Let's say you have a privacy policy, a terms of service. Let's say you're an e-commerce brand, do you have a refund policy, right? Those are navigational keywords because you're navigating to a specific page. You're navigating to a specific audience. Welcome, Marilyn. You're navigating into a space that someone can actually connect with you, right? If you type in, I'm looking for a Facebook login, if you type in Facebook on Google, you're going to see right there, login. That's navigation. When you see a sitemap on Google that has different blue links under one big link, that's another way of saying that you have dominance, right? Because your domain is speaking out for you. If I type in right now, I'm looking for let's say I'm looking for water, I want to buy water. Whatever shows up on the line online is what most people get to see. If I want to go to a Thai restaurant, I'm going to see those things consistently, right? Because what I'm looking for is going to come to me because I'm looking for it actively. So that active search leads to a reactive response, right? And what's going to make someone click on your site before they click on the next site is because of the words that were said. If I say today is Friday, that gives you a completely different connotation. So when you use keywords, Marilyn, you there? You okay? I wanted to just check in with
I
you.
don't know. I went to join the
That was
club so I
me. That
could
was
cash
me.
in the pink ticket. And I think when I did that, I bounced out, and then Julie took me back up, but then I bounced back down. So I think we're done now, Favor. My apologies.
No worries. Just want to make sure you're okay. So when we think about these keywords, right, we have to consider what people are seeing, right? When people are seeing what you're writing, then people will click on it. If I have 10 episodes, what's going to make me click this one episode? It's because I have one interest. If I look at the timestamp, it's because I have this enough time to fulfill this information. So when you use those words help you go farther. So one simple, easy step that everyone can do, right? Because I'm sure you're probably wondering, okay, do I have to pay for something? Do I have to buy something? No. Go to a website like answerthepublic.com or answersocrates.com. You can use any of those two, and then type in the word that you want. If I'm looking for flowers, if I'm looking for water, if I'm looking for an ice machine, whatever you're looking for, you have those things, then you put those words within 2 to 3 words. Now, the results that you get, right? The results that you get, those results, if you look at the results within the results bar or within the results listing, look at Google and go to YouTube as well and see if those same words are showing up on those websites, because those are domains, meaning that they're already in dominance mode. So if you're in dominance mode, it means that I can easily come to you, express myself and say, hey, I'm looking for this. And then here are the results. Oh, here are options. And they're like, okay, I didn't know you had this. I didn't know you have that. Then it starts to build and build and build and build over time. So when you're creating these keywords, you're thinking about the customer. You're thinking about the person that's going to read this information. And if you use question marks, even better. So if someone says, I'm looking for, let's say, let's say I'm a dentist, for example, and I'm trying to, get my business out there, what would you be asking a dentist if you had an appointment with a dentist? Now, those questions, how to, floss, how to brush your teeth, how to take care of your, how to, bad signs of bad odor, things like that, good odor versus bad odor. Those are the questions you're going to ask the doctor, right? But you don't have enough time to ask all the questions because you're on appointment. Your appointment is 30 minutes, and that's 30 minutes. So if I'm dealing with a dentistry and I'm trying to make sure that this company gets the most results, then I need to answer the most questions, because the more questions you answer, the more subject field of expertise you acquire. If I can answer the 5 W's and 1 H, and your competitor can only answer 2 W's, then you're the person that is actually going to connect with them. And that's where the money comes, because you have proof of concept, you have ability, you have capability, and you're also able to connect with them because they can qualify to connect back with you. So if you can create those navigational systems within your business and answer those questions, it helps, right? So think about the questions you're seeing on those platforms, and then go to Google, go to YouTube and see, are those same questions showing up? If they are, that's a good sign. If they aren't, that's a good sign. If they are, it means that more people are talking about it. If they aren't, that means you could be the first person to talk about it. So when you talk about those things consistently, and the key factor here is your email and your website, because when you answer that question, you put it in form of a text, and you now publish that information to the web. They say the web, the World Wide Web. When you submit it to the web and it's gone, because you have a domain and that domain has your website on it, and that website has a page that's referring to something someone's asking, how you can now turn that page into money is when somebody clicks on that page and the first thing they read is you're addressing the problem. The next thing they're seeing is, here's how to solve it. And then if they're solving it, in the process of solving the problem, you have a place where they can leave their contact information, because that conversation is not just going to end there. If I have a problem and my toe is hurting me, I want to fix my toe so that I can actually feel better. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow to fix my toe if my toe is hurting right now. So if it's hurting, I want to fix the problem. So if you want to fix the problem, then you have to accelerate the solution by telling them, hey, I know you're reading this and I hope it's helping you. I hope you can actually get the answers that you need. But if you want more information, click here and join the community. When someone joins the community, that's a signal to your email because it came from your website. That's why I said two things are involved here: your website, your email. Your website, your email. Because it's an email, you're going to send an invoice. It's a website they're going to click on. So you can't miss those two. Those two have to work hand in hand. So when you send an email, that email is leading them to a website, and that website is probably yours. So if it's your website, the more emails you send, the more pages you publish, the more you update the algorithm, the more dominance you get, the more questions you answer, The more people have questions, the more answers you have for them. So when you do those together, it gives you a wide scope of success because now you can actually address every single question in the book. And if you have the answer to each question, then automatically Google says, hey, here's the answer. Here's a person. Because if you're the author of that result, that's a good thing for your brand. People will follow you on LinkedIn, they'll follow you on social, they'll follow you everywhere. Then they'll connect with you and they'll work with you. I was recording a podcast earlier today in person because I'm in Dallas. And I got back to the hotel and I see somebody scheduled a call with me for a podcast. I did not talk to this person. I don't even know. And there are three people. It looks like a company. Three people, and it has professional emails. I'm like, who are these people? I don't know. One is called Ellie. The other one is Info. Of course, that's the official one. And then the other one is Mike. So I'm sure Mike and Ellie are going to be there and maybe a third person. And they're going to be on the podcast next week to record because they want to talk about their company, their business. They do SEO, they do website design, and they found my website. They're called pinned.co, pinned.co. I don't even know who they are. I had to do research. So I don't know. When they get on the call, I'll ask them, how do they find me? And I always love those questions because it allows me to know how to feed back. You know, when you hear feedback, you feed back into the community. So that allows me to know, okay, something is working. So that signal alone as an email tells me, hey, somebody scheduled a call. I didn't need to run ads or to show up anywhere. I just showed up where I needed to be. You know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So creating those systems will be good for you too. The third one is commercial keywords. Commercial keywords is this versus that. Top 10, top 5, pros and cons, what to do, top mistakes, top benefits. All those things are commercial because you're creating emotional and psychological reactions. Emotional and psychological reactions. Why? Because you're emotionally telling them about something they need help with. Hey, I want to buy running shoes or I want to buy jogging shoes. Do I want to buy white shoes or do I want to buy black shoes? Do I want to buy red shoes or do I want to buy blue shoes? Right? Those questions are very specific. So if you can answer those questions in the form of a blog, in the form of a podcast, in the form of an email, then you're really helping people understand the concept. Because if you send one email, they may not understand it. But if you send the 30th email, they will get it because you've been saying it over and over and over and over again. So commercial is a good thing to do because when you have commercial keywords, right, the URL of that website is going to stem from the uniform resource locator. So if your website is aaa.com, for example, and it's slash, delivery dash services, then that is going to tell anybody searching for delivery services near me that this is the link to go to. It sounds a little easy, like a 1-2 quick step, but that actually does happen when you have authority online, right? If you search for something right now and you're looking for anything, you will find whoever's at the top, right? And don't just look at the first page. This is also something to note too. Don't just look at the first page of Google. When we do SEO, we don't just look at the first page. We look at the first, second, and third page. And these days, there's like a continuous scroll. So you may not even know when the second page starts or stops. But how you can know that you're going to the next page is Google has this rule of thumb that has 10 links per page. So when you think about Google, Google is a website. It's just it's a search engine, but it's a website. So 10, that means on their website, Google has created a layout that from top to bottom, from header to footer, they can only fit in 10 per page. So when you count 1, 2, 3 all the way through 10, then the next 10 is the next page. So if you count from 1 to 30, those are 30 listings. Those are 30 pages. Those are 30 websites. You might end up having one or two that have the same because they're probably saying the same thing. If you have two, listings on one page, that even gives you more real estate because you're covering two organic positions that could be paid for, but you'll own it because you're the one that's the topic discussion expert. So when you have those pages, one is information, one is navigation, one is commercial, and then the last one is transactional. Transactional, that's where you now think about Groupon, you think about Yelp, you think about all these pages where you get discounts and deals. You can say, oh, buy shoes, buy shoes. These shoes are this how much it costs, right? Do you want to buy a $10 shoe or you want to buy $100 shoe? What's the difference? So those things, because there's a money sign to it, there's a currency value attached, there's some buying intent, you have to think about those things because there are two types of purchase. There's pre-purchase and there's post-purchase. Pre-purchase is before you buy this great TV, and post-purchase is how do you turn on the TV, or the remote is not working, or maybe I need to change the battery, or is this the right, frames per second, or did I buy the wrong TV? That's post-purchase. If you buy a car, or you got to fix the car, you got to get a mechanic. That's post-purchase. You're still purchasing after you purchase the product that you bought, right? So if you create your content within these four layers: informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional. And you're using these four with email and with website, and you're sending them to your website, to your podcast, to your web page. You'll be doing so well that if you do this on a 52-week calendar year, come back and tell me it didn't work and we can talk about it, because it works. It works. You don't have to spend money to get this attention. You just have to be in the right place, because positioning equals to sales. Does anyone have anything they would like to add on? Question, feel free, and welcome, Christy.
Oh my goodness. Ah, Favor. Like, I am just so inspired and in awe of you. Like, I knew you were special because we had a couple meetings, but this whole time, like, everything you just said made my head spin. Like, I just literally took a whole year of college in just a really short period of time because honestly, I'm trying to build a 24-hour IT tech business through a strategic alliance of four companies into one. And I don't know what I'm doing. But John Wiley gave me alliance. And I know that you can help me with some things. And I have mentors and I have billionaires and I have so many companies that want to partner with me. But guess what? Favor, you just taught me like 10 things. So my head's spinning. So can we please get on a call the week of the 17th, please? I would like to hire you for consult, hire you for everything. John Wiley, why not get in there? Marilyn, I need you. Like, just women power. Like, I just want to do this and I'm going to make $1 billion company really quickly and swiftly because I'm working with Fortune 500s. Yeah,
You
I
can't
am.
you can't have him, Christy.
Oh,
He's
I'm
all
having
mine. He's all
all
mine. I'm just
500.
kidding. We're gonna have to fight over him. Just kidding.
Favors mine too.
Yay, Fave.
Love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
ladies.
Yes,
Ladies,
Juliana.
this is Juliana here. So, just so you all know, I've worked with Favor for nearly 3 years. And so you are in for a treat. I've had most successful 3-year tax season ever. Didn't have to run one single Google ad. My phone still keep ringing. So you are in for a treat. He is truly special.
Thank you, Juliana. Appreciate you. Y'all are special. That's why y'all are here. And I thank you so much. If it wasn't for you guys, this room would not even be happening. So I really appreciate you. I'm really in this whole mission to help businesses, save money. Like, it's a big thing for me. I was just talking to a client, this same client that we're doing ads for. He was telling me that Lamar Outdoor, I'm sure we all know them. Lamar Outdoor, they're a big company. They do billboards. So they were charging him $3,000 a month to run a billboard on one billboard next to his office. And I was like, bro, just don't call them again, because companies, great. I love companies. We run a company, but companies run in their own way. Respect to all companies. They have their own business models. You can't knock down anyone's hustle. But if you can compete at a higher rate and save more money, then better. So I told him, instead of you spending this $3,000 on this one billboard, you don't even know how long it's going to run. You don't know how many advertisers are on this specific billboard. You don't know who you're competing with. They're not going to tell you that because that's first party data. They don't have the right to tell you. So you don't really get that privilege. So I said, hey, let's do a whole hour routine and actually make it happen. Guess what? From on Monday, we're running 4 billboards for 25 days, all through, because today is September 6th, all through September 30th, to 4 billboards where we're going to get 61,000 people on within the highways, right, on different exits, because all those exits lead to his office, to and from. And he's spending, let me just give you the budget that they gave, and then I'll tell you what we now gave him as a suggestion. So the budget came down to, I'm actually going to open it for you. I'm going to give you guys the exact value. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. So if I go to his setup, there we go. So the budget, yeah, we're reaching between 40K to 61K, and we're spending about $6.09 an hour. I'm going to the review section so I can see the value. Yeah, so we're spending $6.09 per hour, and we're spending about $623. So I told him, hey, you know what? Let's bump it up to 1,000. You save 2,000. So let's spend this $1,000 on these 4 billboards. We're spending about 25 cents cost per play, and we're reaching 17,000 people a week with these 4 billboards. So he said, okay, let's do it on Monday. So we're going to kick it off on Monday. By Friday, we have meetings every Friday. We're going to look at the board. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, another client, we're running another client's billboard to 2 billboards, and we're spending about 600 for the whole month, only to 2 billboards. And she's doing aesthetics. She does lip fillers, non-surgical, med. It's in New Orleans. It's called Cure Aesthetics. That's the name of the brand. The other one's called RBY Prince. I can tell you guys that openly, right? No, there's nothing to hide. Cure Aesthetics, the brand, the business, they have 2 billboards, right? They're running. And as I'm speaking to you right now, the ads have been running so well that she's been able to reach about 2,000 people. Our goal is to hit 50,000 people, and we've hit 2,000 people in 2 days. So imagine what's going to happen in the rest of the month, right? And these are people who are going to brick and mortar studio. So even I was even thinking about this in my head. I was like, wait a minute, podcasts can also do this. If you have a podcast and you know the top city in your podcast and you know the top billboard, you can run that billboard and say, hey, we're live. Listen to us on Apple, on Spotify. People are driving down the road. They're like, oh, okay, I know that podcast. I'm going to check on it. Oh, check our website. This is what we do. That surprise element is what really helps. You know how many billboards you've probably seen today? Does anyone remember any billboard they've seen today? If you've driven out today, does anyone remember? John, Julie, Juliana, Mary Lynn, anyone in the audience? Please put in the chat. Do you guys remember billboards? Do you pay attention to them? Do you see them? Do they see you? Let's talk about it. Okay, it's quiet. I don't know if that's a yes or a no, but Juliana said no. Go ahead.
It's a waste of money.
Favor, I can speak on this because I create images that are on
Let's
billboards.
go.
Yeah, they're very effective. I think they're effective. I think they're effective around here in Boston, especially we're like the city with the most traffic. So it depends on where you live and what your traffic route is, I think, too.
That is true. Where your traffic is, because you don't want to run an ad to the wrong place. Like we were almost running an ad to the grocery store. It didn't make sense. And we were even doing some, because this company is in Georgia, and I can run ads to the Concourse T, the Concourse T terminal at Atlanta Airport. We can run ads there. And we realized we can reach about 1,200 people per hour at that concourse for about 8 cents per hour, compared to the same number of people we can reach per hour on a billboard for about 38 cents an hour. So if we can bridge the two and we know what we're really doing, then like Kerry is saying, if you really know the number of people crossing the foot traffic, at least on average per hour, it helps. You're able to know those things and it gives you insight. Then you want to run traffic, you want to run ads where there's a lot of traffic. I know we don't like to be in traffic. I don't. But for businesses, it's the opposite. Just like we don't like seeing ads every day, but for businesses, that's what they need. So if you're going to the website, if you're going to a platform, if you're going to learn these things and you want to have those keywords into money, then the words that are on those billboards have to make sense. Like Juliana is saying, the light the light ones as well. Then Angelica is saying, of course, constantly. And then, yeah, so if you look at it like that, and Candice is saying, sometimes I feel like that, Julie, it's true. Because if you get to a place where, like right now, it's there's traffic going on up until maybe an hour from now, it's dying down, but the traffic started earlier because people leave work maybe at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, maybe five, and then they leave early. You don't know. Like it just happens within those time slots. So if your ad is running for 10 seconds within a 3 hour window, and you know that these are the number of people coming through every day, then you really want to know where you're spending your money and where you're spending your time. So if you have those keywords that really attract the person that's looking at this information, it helps. That's why I've talked about zip code marketing before, because when you do zip code marketing, you know what's around. If somebody's living next to a Target, someone else is living next to a Whole Foods, someone else is living next to a Walmart, someone else is living next to a Trader Joe's, you can know exactly what those attributes could be because of what they could frequently buy from those places exclusively simultaneously. So when you know where your audience is, and then you run ads either through digital media, through Spotify, through ads, even Reddit ads really do well. You can run ads anywhere, but it's the words that you say that make the words count. Yes, Juliana.
No, when I said no, I meant since they brought the lighted billboards, I've gotten lazy in trying to read the others. So when I get close to intersection, I pay more attention to the lighted billboards. Those and because I know it's only there for a few seconds, so I try to read it as quickly as possible. So I don't know if that input will help somebody who's thinking of doing that. Maybe do the one with the lighter ones if you have somebody like me. I do numbers, so I don't like reading stuff. So I have to glance quickly and grasp it and then be done with it. So that's all I was trying to say no, because if it's the paper one, I probably won't pay attention. But if it's a lighter one, it catches my attention more. That's all I was trying to say.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense too. Because I'm thinking about as well. When someone sees a billboard, I don't know how people do it creatively, but if I was to run a billboard like the one we're doing right now for a client, the background is white because when the sun is hitting that billboard, it's bright. It's really bright, especially at the top of the day. So if you think about the creative aspect, having a white background, maybe a yellow background, some really bright color that matches your brand. Don't just paste yellow because yellow is working. If you paste something that really works, that resonates with your brand, that accents your brand, that complements your business, when they see that ad and they go to your website, that same color should be somewhere on your website. It should be somewhere in your email. It should be somewhere around your podcast. It should be somewhere within your branding because you want to use the same color. Like I know Coca-Cola, they use red, that's their primary color. And sometimes during Christmas, green. So we don't really see a lot of green with Coca-Cola, but it's there. We don't really think about it, but it's one of the colors they use. So that red and green means something. When people wear ugly sweaters at Christmas, that green, because of Christmas trees, people are connecting. Those things make a lot of sense. So those colors go a very long way. And if you think about making your text about 20% of the whole thing, the better. Have your business name in full, or put your phone number there, or put a big QR code next to it, and let people either scan away, because if there's traffic, that means people can sit down and scan. If you're in the car with somebody else and you really like it, that person can scan it for you, right? People can zoom in these days, especially with the new iPhones. The new iPhone is coming out very soon. People can zoom, zoom, like you're in the stadium at the top, they can zoom in. So if you really have clear images, crisp images, and people are driving, so they're not really thinking about what you're writing on the billboard. They want to know what you're trying to say. So if you say something concisely that it takes them a half a second to read and half a second to act, then it's better than telling them what to read or what to say on a billboard like that. Carrie, I want to ask you this too. When it comes to images, how do you measure or predict, or I can say forecast, how well an ad will do based on positioning? Like, how somebody can be sitting towards the left, and then the billboard, maybe the position of the person could be face head left or head right. How does that affect or impact the success of the ad?
Well, the composition, so the concept of the image has to punch you in the mouth, like John would say. It has to be very strong visually that you you pause. That's the key, is that you look twice at it. And so that's my job, to come up with something that really sets that, or um really makes them stand out, that they haven't seen something like that before. So there's lots of ways of doing it. There's the crop, and then it's tied in with the tagline, so that it really, we hit them twice. A lot of things that don't make something successful, you have to have one point of focus. And if there's if your eye's jumping all over, you have to have one central spot that you focus on. So there's like so much that goes into it. Um, but it's well thought out before. That concept is well thought out before the shoot happens. So that's my take.
Thank you, Kerry. That's a big one too, because I also believe in A/B testing with billboards, especially if you're using a multiple of them and you're using them within a month cycle. It's really good to know where like that traffic is coming from, what time of the year. Like we're getting into holiday season. So imagine you have it's Halloween, next month, and you're using orange, as your background, or using pumpkins, for example, in your copy. Those things give color to the brand because it's like, oh, you think about us too, we think about you too. That's, we're here for you, you're here for us. It's that kind of reciprocation, if I can put it like that. That reciprocity is so big when you look at the long-term effect of, how people are connecting with you online. So you're so right about that, Carrie. Thank you so much for that insight.
You know,
And
I just wanted to
yeah,
give you an example. Like right now I'm looking at the cover of Steve Jobs' book, and it's perfect because it's iconic. It's There's so few elements here. He always wore black. If you go into Apple, that's branded. Everything is unique. It's Apple. e- Everything, like, it's they did that on purpose so that the products would stand out. So that's an example of stripping it down and not having too much of focus, and just making it so sharp and clean and tight. Um, I hope that's like a good example.
it is. Thank you so much for that, Carrie. Yes, it makes sense, because all those attributes, I can also say the same word again. It attributes to your business, to the success, the bottom line, how people connect with you, where they see all these things. So the more they can see you in it, the better it is. Even like with YouTube thumbnails, I've heard, you can test it out when your mouth is open and somebody's taking a picture, like you look shocked, you look surprised. That also sparks interest because someone can see like, oh, is that? It's like a wow effect. People want to be part of that. You know, those are things that people look out for. So even if you're taking pictures, like Carrie is saying, and you have those expressions, people are looking right through your eyes to see exactly what you're trying to say without even saying it. Because they can read the text, but your expressions may be different. So it's always good to look at those balances and know exactly how to connect the dots. And you even said it too, I was thinking less is more. That's where you have the rule of thirds, you have like white space. You look at products, most of them have white backgrounds. When you go into a white room with white walls, you feel like you're in a space, a big space. But if let's say that room is painted a different color, you're not going to feel the same way because you feel like you're trapped in a color. You feel like you're trapped in a space. But the white space, you don't feel like you're trapped because you can actually walk through. So it has this kind of effect to it that can really give you that long-standing effect, as a business. So those are things to look out for. Angelica also said something too very important as well. The top outdoor billboard companies, they are Spotlight, Clear Chanel, or Clear Channel. I'm thinking about Chanel, sorry. Clear Channel and Lamar. And there's another one I see here on my list, which is Outfront Media. And there are others, there's so many out there, but those are the main ones. And instead of going to these companies directly, because you're going to spend an arm and a leg for one billboard, you can even be on Times Square. It's very possible, at your own cost, because these are automatic digital billboards. People are not operating them. They're curating them, but they're not operating them. So if you can curate yourself within a billboard that meets your audience, your target, and then you're sending them to your website, you're sending them to your podcast, you're sending them to your business list, you're saying, hey, off exit, look at billboards like, gas stations do this so well. They'll tell you, oh, off exit 80, you're going to find this gas station, and you'll drive there per hour. Imagine the number of people that are making those things. I got to talk to somebody who just built a gas station close to where I stay because I live in a new environment. And I asked him, hey, how much does this cost? And he's like, he told me to guess. And I was like, maybe 10 million. He's like, seven. He's like, oh, it took, 4 million to set up, the business, the land, and then 3 million to set up the interface and all the everything around it. So I thought, I was like, huh. Then he said, oh, yeah, I'm going to make that money back in the first month. I was like, huh, okay. So in my head, I was like, how do you calculate that? But when you think about the number of people driving, that foot traffic is big. So if everybody's gas is going on E and there are, let's say, 2,000 cars that are driving in this place within the first hour times, let's say, a 12-hour cycle, not even 24, imagine what that number looks like. We may see one car, one gas tank, one billboard, one podcast, one blog, one website, but we don't know what's under the hood. So if we can really give people that attention and let them see it, then you let them do the talking because your brand is out there. And when you're on a billboard, it's very, very exciting. And now that I'm even thinking about it, Julie, I'm even thinking Creative Con could be on a billboard, you know? Like that just came to my mind as I was speaking because it's so possible. It's really, really possible. So these are some things I'm looking out for. Liverpool's in the room. What's up? How are you? Good evening. It's pretty late
Can
out
I
there.
say something to you, Fave? Because
Yes, please.
one of my best friends here, Mika, we were just talking about her getting. She has a vegan cafe in Central Florida, and I said, Mika, you have to get a billboard. I think it would be amazing. She's near Legoland, and I would love for her to come up and ask you questions about getting a billboard if she's free.
Wow. Yes,
Yes.
Mika, let's talk.
Oh wait, she is
Hi.
here.
Hi,
Sorry. Yes.
Favor. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Queen. Hello, everyone. Talk about synchronicities because Jules, like Jules said, she and I were talking about this yesterday, a billboard. And here's this clubhouse that you're listing for to discuss billboards. So, talk about synchronicities. Yeah, so I'm near a major attraction, like Joel said, near Legoland, and there's so much traffic that goes there. As she mentioned, having a billboard. Any advice for me for my vegan cafe? Because there's a lot of foot traffic that we get coming in for people that are actually going to Legoland, and there's a lot of people that don't know we're in the area. And I'm thinking a billboard would be a great idea. Any advice?
Yes, I am thinking about so many things right now. Is the Legoland in the one in Grapevine
This one's in Florida,
in
Central
Florida? Oh, you
Florida.
said Central Florida. I'm so sorry. Okay, if it's in Central Florida, are there shopping malls? Are there of course, gas stations? Just places people can hang out before they get into the main theme.
As far as Legoland, you
Just
mean?
around it, the surroundings.
No, yeah, there's a lot of things around for people to get involved with. There's parks, there's lots of entertainment, if that's what you mean.
Yes. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. Yeah,
How
this
can
is.
she capture like the tourist people? Because vegan food is people search out a vegan restaurant or cafe when they travel because if you're vegan, you want to obviously eat vegan. And I'm like, there's got to be ways with the tourism in Central Florida for her to get that foot traffic in the restaurant. So I'm like, what is the best bang for her buck?
Oh, yeah. I would say the way I'm seeing it, it would definitely, yes, be the billboards, but also the messaging would have to make sense. Like you talked about vegan. So in my mind, I'm thinking even not only running ads in on a billboard within a highway, for example, you can also run ads in grocery stores as well. Because if it's vegan and someone's at the grocery checkout, they can see your ad there, and that's very specific because it's food. They might actually see your ad and go back and pick something up. That's something
Hmm.
that can really happen. Because it's focused. Oh, are you vegan? Then here's what we have for you, and then that way, because it's a lot of traffic, it's also low impact. It's high. I would say high impact, low effort, because you're reaching a lot of people and you're not really in their face because they're shopping. They're already in the act of buying, so you're already meeting them at that position. You don't even have to tell them to go to this exit because they're already into the store. So if you're connecting with them and your office, your business is within that surrounding, I could find specific areas in that Central Florida area that have the billboards, and then calculate how much people are spending per hour, and then we can do the math, and then from there we can actually test it out and see. That's something that's very possible, because this last quarter of the year I'm heavily going into billboard advertising and zip code advertising for businesses. So I'd be happy to talk about it with you, and not just having a billboard, but also making your website, your SEO, like everything has to be good, because it wouldn't make sense to run all this traffic and now we're not getting data back. So those are some things that we look at least get the under the hood together, and then we can now look at the top. How does that sound, Mika?
Thank you. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I will put my link at the top of this room.
Favor, you have to roll out the red carpet for Mika because she's my bestie and like she's my co-host for Obsessed podcast, and you guys are going to meet in Chicago this February. So we need to
Yes.
get
Looking
her
forward to it.
cafe like up and like it's up and rolling. It's amazing, but I know tapping into that tourist market, I think would be huge, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would.
Ditto. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Favor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Mika. I've actually just followed you right now, and I'll definitely stay in contact with you. Please click the link above so we can get that 15-minute call, talk about everything you need, and then we can get that show started. And you can get to see exactly where those things can at least help you move the needle a little bit more. And I'm even thinking too, because you said tourists, the first thing that came to my mind was airports. So I'm looking at I'm actually going to type in here MCO, because I used to live in Orlando.
Actually,
MC.
that's a great idea. I never thought about Orlando Airport.
Yeah, wow. I'm looking at it right now. There is one in Terminal B. Yeah, I found one. Boom. And this is costing $1 per hour per day. And you're going to reach, okay, it's loading. Give it a second. It's scanning. Boom, 1,000. Okay, so it's telling me for $1 per hour, that's per play. So one play means the number of seconds. So the max you can have on this billboard I'm seeing is 30 seconds. So imagine people are waiting for the train. They're waiting for, because I know in Orlando Airport, MCO, there's a subway that takes you through the different terminals. So if someone's going to Terminal B, I just can't remember what airline is on Terminal B, but if we're looking at Terminal B and people are flying in and they leave Terminal B, they see your ad there and you're spending about $1 a play. So that means 30 seconds per play. So if the average cost per 30 seconds ad play is $1 and you have 30 seconds to use, I wouldn't even use all those 30 seconds. I would just use maybe 6 seconds, because I was looking at Pinterest, just a little bit of some insight to give you. I remember saying early last month that when Apple starts to advertise their business, the new iPhones, or just the new Apple products in general, they're going to go heavy on ads, especially Pinterest. And I predicted it. So yesterday I looked at my Pinterest. What do I see? Ad from they're saying, hey, RSVP to get, make sure you're going to watch the Apple event. So right now they're not even advertising the phone, they're advertising the event because people need to RSVP. And they're doing that on Pinterest too. So them doing it on Pinterest, I said, okay, let me look at the scientific formula of what they're doing, because when you're spending money on ads, you're spending it based on time. So if the time, let's say you're spending 30 seconds and your competitor is spending 3 seconds, the person with 3 seconds is getting more than you. Yes, you have more to say. Yes, you have more context to give, but people don't have time to stand for 30 seconds. So if you can split it up into two, I noticed that Apple has a 6 second on Pinterest. They had 6 seconds. So that told me if 25% of watch time of 6 seconds, that's what is that that's what 2 seconds or so, and then 50% of that is 3 seconds, and then the whole 100% is 6 seconds. They're spending specifically on those 6 seconds, and that's how much they're spending, and that money is actually coming back to them. So if I'm going to run an ad, instead of using all 30 seconds on this billboard in terminal B, I'll use about 6 seconds, right? Success leaves clues. So I'll do it. It tells me how many the pixels, 1920 by 1080 landscape. It tells me PNG or JPEG. It tells me the videos. Let's say you want to do a video, Mika. You can even do a video, but it says there's no audio. So that's now where you can put captions in your video. People can actually look at the captions with no sound, connect with you for a few seconds, say, hey, welcome to Orlando. Are you vegan? Da, 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 da. Before you know it, they're calling you, they're going to your website, they're checking you out, they're signing up to your email list. So before even you get that attraction, we have to get you set up correctly. So that kind of thing is attracting 1,007 people per hour. That's what I'm seeing. So for every hour, so imagine a 24-hour, that's 24,000 people in 24 hours on average in one day. And you're running your ad for a whole month, you have to definitely get some type of traffic back, and the right people will see it. If they say vegan, then whoever is not vegan will ignore that ad. But whoever is vegan, especially when you think about vegan and processes and connecting community, that's a big thing. And they're coming into the city the first time as a tourist, they'll feel more welcome. They'll feel like their trip has just been fulfilled. Oh, I just walked through this terminal and I found something I liked. Boom, they're excited. So these are some things I'll show you when we get on our call, and I can show you from my side what it looks like so that visually you can actually see the street, you can see the coordinates, you can see the longitudes, the latitudes, you can see all those things, and that will also give you at least peace of mind so you can also know where to distribute your content. How does that sound, Mika?
That's great. Thank you so much, Favor. I look forward to our call.
You are welcome.
That's awesome.
You are welcome. Thanks for being here. Liverpool, how are you? And what time is it over there?
So it is officially Saturday, the 7th now, so you just struck midnight. So, yeah, but I'm doing well. It was a very good Friday. I hope everybody had a great week and fulfilled every each of their goals this week, whether big or small, and things like that. So, yeah, I always love your room, Faber, just trying to get a general feel of the conversation because I've been only just been in here for about 10 minutes. So yeah, back over to you, but thank you for the lovely warm welcome as usual. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're in Saturday together. We're all there. We're coming soon for sure. No, thank you so much for being here with us today. And I'm so glad I did this at this time. This room was supposed to happen like about 11 hours ago, but so many things were happening. And I said, I can't do a room with undivided attention if I'm doing something else. So I wanted to make sure I'm here with no interruptions and give you my undivided attention as well. So I'm glad you guys were able to listen to this, and I hope you take action on this as well. John, wanted to come to you and ask, what are your thoughts on the room and what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking I have had a chance to talk to Mika as well. Billboards, I think they can be great depending on what the behavior of the intended person is. They can be great for example, here in South Florida, there's a lot of personal injury lawyers, a lot of branding billboards. Billboards that are direct response don't do as well. So, like for Mika, I would suggest looking at building a custom audience in Facebook advertising, and you can even go to food and the behaviors, I think it is, and veganism is an option in there. And you can look for areas of interest, Legoland. You can look for ages you know your primary customer is going to be in, college educated, income, a lot of other things, even ages. And you can pinpoint directions. The other option is a lot of people drive to Legoland. And as much as I hate iHeartRadio, you can contact iHeartRadio and see about doing an ad campaign during their off peak times, like Saturdays and Sundays, to get the lowest rate possible and get in front of a mass audience that way. So, the only problem with billboards is the more traffic goes by, the more expensive it is. And if you got a small business and cash is an option, like many people it is, who's got 1,500 to 5,000 rand to shell out? If you know who your audience is going to be, there's a lot of options that she can check out. But check it out. That's in the custom audiences you can create in Facebook ads. The nice thing about it is if you're only going to your website, you can do a pay per click and maybe pay 10, 12 cents a click and not pay for the branding, not pay for the impressions. Um, but you get the benefit of impressions with your ad as well. So just other options you can look at. I think it's a great room. And by the way, an episode of my podcast featuring Julie comes out on Sunday, and it hit radio last weekend. But the very first word in the title and throughout the show notes is Chicago. Now, that's not the topic of the podcast, but Chicago has a high search volume of 1.5 million. So the first four words that really matter the most for first fives is Chicago. Big changes are trauma, and that's what we're searching for. So that's the reason it's done that way. And really paying attention to SEO titles in particular of anything, any web page, blog entries, whatever it might be, is a great way to grow your traffic, and it's worked tremendously for me. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was good. Yes, that is so, so true. Mika, did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, John. That was great feedback. You're always there to give great advice and insight. I did want to say this. There is a billboard that is in a perfect location. It's right where a traffic light is. And by perfect, I mean it's a main boulevard, heavy traffic, and it is at a intersection where there is a red light, and so it's stop, so people are able to see it. It's in a prime location, and I believe the last time I spoke to the owner, he was offering it at 800 a month. I don't know what it is now, um, because it just came up available. The last person rented it for maybe 90 days. So I just noticed it's available again. So this may be a good sign. So this may be another synchronicity. I don't know, but I'll check on the rate. But the last time we spoke about it, he offered it for 800 a month.
Where is this location? Can you say the street or maybe just a popular area?
It is a street. It is Havendale Boulevard in Winter Haven, Florida.
Okay, let me see. In Winter Haven. Oh, I see Havendale Boulevard. That's 33823.
Uh, 33881.
33881. Okay, let me do that one second.
Mhm.
33881. Oh, I see it. Winter Haven. Wow, there are 12. I see there are 12 boards. Okay, let me look at the map real quick. Wow. And you said it's between what street? I'm looking at it right now.
Mm, I want to say, ooh, I want to say 34th Street, Northwest.
Northwest. Is that next to Florence Villa, Winter Haven
N-
Hospital?
no, well,
And
it's probably 2 miles from there.
2 miles from there. Okay. And then I'm seeing the Winter Haven Municipal Airport. Is it is it farther or closer?
It's close to there, yeah. Hmm.
Okay. All right. So I see two boards there. And let me
It's it's right on Havendale Boulevard near 34th Street Northwest.
found it. Boom. All right. So I've just seen it. And there are Okay, it's opening for me. Oh, there are a lot of bars there too. Let me
Yeah,
see.
this is a very big drinking town. Very, very big.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. You can even get for as low as 9 cents per play. Wow, in Polk County. Okay, so me looking at this right now and looking at the available boards and places that people can also look through, this is something that would be really good. Even in convenience stores, I'm seeing like Express Food Mart is there too. And there are about a good number of people that shop there in between. And because you're dealing with food, it's also good to be within those grocery stores, the billboards, because that's where people are having those activities. So yeah, we can cover a lot of those things, but this is a good way to look at it. And also when they told you 800, did they tell you the time? Did they tell you did they just tell you a price, or did they give you
He,
detail?
he gave me a flat rate, and it's monthly. He didn't want any vacancies. He gave a flat rate, and it's monthly.
So if it's flat rate and is it digital, or is it like just
Not digital.
that's why. Okay, now it makes sense, because if it's not digital and there's no space, it means that he's just covering that space for the amount of time he has. That makes sense. Okay, so that same 800 could be spread across 4 boards within that, let's say, 10-20 mile radius, and you could spend the same amount and get more traffic, more bang for your buck, more people, more more evidence, based on what you have as a product to give. So just me looking at this alone, yeah, I would love to get and show you so you can actually see this visually, and then from there you can make a decision.
So you mean do like a digital board instead of, is that what you mean by spreading it between four boards?
Yeah, I would do it across 4 boards, than just one that are digital, just because if it's digital and we're looking at the times of the day, we can do some more deep research into that and know when there's the most traffic on those streets, so we can actually position ourselves there. Because why he says 800 is because you're having it 24/7, which is fine. But if it's on the wrong street, on the road that doesn't have the most people, then you're kind of shorting in the gap. But that gap is short and it's not really expanding because you're only focusing on the people within those areas. But if we say, okay, let's focus on 4 boards with the same budget, within a week to 2 weeks, we can see which one is losing strength, which one is gaining strength, and then we can now, calibrate it again. So those are things that we can do to make sure that you're not just on a static board, but you're actually in a digital board, and even a little bit further, go into video mode if you want to, and then have captions there that people can see, but not on a highway, but like in a grocery store. So even if it's a gas station, there's so many ways we can tap into those stores, but that's how I would do it.
Okay. Quick question, and by just for clarification for me and for everyone listening in, by gas station, do you mean at the gas pump where videos are playing at the gas pump, or do you mean inside of the gas station, a video playing?
Both. So one could be at the checkout. When you check out, you have those screens.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those screens allow you to have ads. Not all stores, but the ones we can find would have them. And then you also have it at the gas station. When you start pumping your gas and then the music turns on or something happens in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can also be on those spots. So anywhere around there, because they're also tourists, the people who are coming in, they probably got rental cars and they're just trying to get gas in the nearest place possible. We can really get specific with audience intelligence and then get those people through those spots.
Wow, I learned a lot during this clubhouse.
Now, Mika, I got a quick question. It's something that your
Mhm.
favorite talks about all the time. So, if I type into Google Legoland vegan restaurants, the very first entry is for Legoland. Second one's for the plantbasedmama.com. Mama.com. You know who that is?
No.
Right. Legoland is number three. Number four is Legoland. Number five is Yelp, 10 best vegan restaurants. Then Vegan Disney World, then Reddit. And if we go back down, there's veganmomblog.com. I think, and by the way, other than Legoland, I don't think any other ones are sponsored. They look like they're organic. That might be an opportunity for you. to focus on keywords and blog entries to show up on the top four.
Mm, okay.
Because the tourists, they book their trips, they use Google to go to Legoland, correct?
Yes.
So imagine if they type in Legoland and you show up, or you type in Legoland vegan restaurants and you show up.
Yeah,
If you don't, that's a missed opportunity. Your competition probably is.
I agree. Yeah, Jules and I talked about that yesterday too for Google Ads to pay for that and for vegan Legoland.
If you could afford that, that'd be a
It's,
great option. Because everybody types in Legoland vegan restaurants is a potential customer. They're not going to type vegan in by accident.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if they're like at Legoland, and if you're a vegan, you actively search out vegan restaurants. Like you, that is one thing I know. Like you actively search out these restaurants, and she's so close. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to figure out how to do this. So
Yeah, I
good,
think
good
search
tips.
is a good way to focus on. And the other option is digital advertising when it comes to phones. You can do geofencing. You can even select an area so that it shows up on a phone and a website. So everybody in Legoland can see your ad as a potential. That's another option as well.
Mm.
I just wanted to say Julie's totally right. My daughter has celiac and my mom does as well. Somehow it skipped, but we it's difficult. It's very difficult because she can become so sick. So when we traveled anywhere, any destination, we had to plan how she was going to eat. So people do. I've done it my whole life for her. So people definitely do that. They search it out ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
there's
was
much
I was
opportunity.
gonna mention geofencing, but John said it. But yeah, that's an option for sure. Geofencing. You can set or you can do what they call a pin drop, which is basically the same as geofencing, but you can drop a pin right on the right on Legoland. So anybody that cross those perimeters, they definitely can get your ad in their phone.
Oh wow. I don't know how to do that, but I guess I'll
How does that work?
that sounds great. Thank you. I'll look into it.
These
And
are
this is
all
dropping a
great.
pin on the maps. Is it Google Maps or Apple Maps?
I mean, you can utilize it on pretty much all of those platforms, but the main place you can do it is like actually the you can actually target your competitors their venue too if you're in that space. So it depends on how you want to go about it, but you can actually go for it on pretty much all the platforms. It's just certain ways you have to set it up. And there are platforms where you can go and set that up. And I think I'm gonna find the name and I'll drop it in the chat. But yeah,
Thank you.
they primarily do geofencing. So and they based out of Atlanta. So I'll get that and drop it in the chat for you.
You're getting all the love. Soda, do you want to say something? Welcome.
No, I just agree with everything. I go to Legoland, both in California and, Orlando, and I definitely am always looking for healthy food places. And if I saw an ad for that, I'd definitely be interested. So yeah, I think that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, this is so good. Thank you for this question, Mika. And also, Julie, thank you for saying that because we wouldn't have known if you didn't mention that. So, really appreciate it. And, looking at the results on Google, I can also see, yeah, propellant.media. Thank you, Hayden. When I'm looking at the content pieces on Google for Legoland Vegan Restaurant Florida, I'm already seeing something that's going to change the game for you. And what I'm seeing is, I'm going to just do this real quick. Legoland has a PDF of a dietary guide. And when I'm looking at this timestamps, date stamps rather, I'm seeing it goes back to 2015. So I'm seeing 2015 by Vegan Mom Blog. I'm seeing 2018 by Plant Based Mama. I'm seeing Vegan Disney World at 2020. I don't see anything for 2024. So we're getting to the end of 2024 and nobody has tabulated anything. I mean, you could see it if you just do advanced Google search and get the most recent page, but what everybody sees, there's nothing that is close to 2024 content here. So you coming in 2024, with your website, like John was saying, with the entries, you're focusing on different things. The restaurants, Yelp is just notorious for this. They'll just tell you top 10, and people will naturally go to Yelp because they know the brand. But if they now see another brand, which is your brand now, Mika, and then the city, because their locations are turned on their phone, that can also give you access to doing an article and saying, okay, here are also 10 vegan restaurants. So now you can go to Yelp and they can come to you. And then when you give them those options, you can also be one of the options there. And that's commercial keywords I was talking about before. Because when people have the word best or top, that's commercial because people are looking for the best thing to buy, the top thing to get. So if you're in that top positioning, then your organic ratings would really, really go up the roof. And having a PDF on your website would just be the creme de la creme because now you can actually have vegan guides like Legoland is doing. They're the only ones on the web that have a PDF specifically for your niche. So if you're the second one to come up with that, then it's possible. It's just something that we have to do, but it's something that can happen. It's very possible. And if I'm looking at something from 2015, next year is 2025. So these guys have just been sitting on it for 10 years. No competition at all. So here you come, to give them a little rough in the feathers. They're going to notice that because their market share is going to change. So when you see those kind of things, and for me, I'm like, this is good spots. These are good opportunities. Then you take action on them. It's just a matter of time. And then people start to attract you. And then when you now get those attractions, and then you start getting leads. Then those leads are now when you now start telling them, hey, thanks for joining, thanks for subscribing. We're here every weekend. You get to know what they do, what to do for the weekend, if you're cooking vegan at home, how do you handle those things? So it really helps your business thrive. I have one more question for you, Mika.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead, Hidden.
I was before I forget. I mean, I know you probably. I'm late to the party, so I know you guys probably already talked about alphabet soup, probably. But she can always put like Legoland food. Then you can just see what it tell you on the autocomplete first. Just see what it say. You put Legoland food, and it's gonna tell you different things that's being. Take all of those words and make an article for all of those autocomplete words that they give you. But then you could also just start with A Legoland food A and see what words come up. Just go all the way through the alphabet, and those are keywords you can utilize. Easy wins, pretty much. And then also with that, you can try different varieties of that. You could put Legoland vegan food and see what autocomplete uh, words that they give you after that too. So you can definitely, you know, that's pinpointing straight to vegan though. But you can you can go broader. But if you want to pinpoint vegan, you can just put Legoland vegan food and then see what options they give you, and take all of that and bake that into your content.
Wow. Those are gems. Thank you guys so much for dropping that. Those were hidden gems to me because I had no idea. That's, I'm an artist with food and culinary and, croissants and puff pastries. So this is a whole nother world. So thank you for sharing all your expertise, Favor, John, and Hidden. Yes.
Thank you, Mika. The last question I had for you is: do you have an official physical location that people can drive to?
Yes.
Oh, that makes it even easier.
I was about to say bingo.
Oh yeah, you about to go up. Because that makes it easier for you 100%. Why I'm saying this is because when you like, because you asked a question about Google Maps, there's something with local businesses that I love. When you have a local business and you have a brick and mortar store, you can be on a lot of local listings. Like hidden as just said GBP, which is Google Business Profile, or GMB, which is Google My Business. That's one of them, right? And you can be on about 67 of them. This month alone, this month, because we're in September 6th, so let's say the last 30 days, we've connected four businesses to about 67 local listings, that have actual locations, and they're now on Yellow Pages, they're on Yandex, they're on Brown Book, they're on BBB, they're on Siri, they're on Alexa, they're on Waze, they're on different platforms that people are actively using, because when people are searching, especially if you're located on those positions. I'm just thinking from the ground up, like a fortress. The ground, you have your technical SEO, your website is good. You have all these PDFs, like I put the link to the PDF I was talking about in the chat. If you look at that PDF, you can see how they specifically wrote dietary dash food dash guide, and they did that in 2022. That's a Legoland Florida Resort dietary guide, and that's on Google. So if we do the same thing, and then we build into that system where you have all your local listings, all pointing to your website, all pointing to your location, all pointing to all the categories that you have. Google gives you about 3 or 4 categories, and I'm a SEMrush agency partner as well. So we're able to also get those listings up. So with the listings, you can get up to 10 categories, because when you're in categories, that's what really puts you out. Just like with podcasting, you have to be in the right category to rank, within the right filter. Now with businesses, it's a little bit more open-ended, because it's an operational business. So for you, you can, like you talked about different things, foods, you can have all those things in there, and then you have a cluster that is actually targeted to them. And then when we take that information and we submit you to all those local listings, the next thing that starts to happen is, once you're connected, and now people now search for you online, because you've already dug into the soil, which is the website, getting all your information in there, connected you to Google, to Bing, to these platforms. The next thing is, now when we now go to the billboards, someone can easily go back to the website and then find you on all those platforms. So when they find you all there, they're like, oh yeah, she's legit. You've always been, but now it's just proof. There's just proof in the pudding that this is the person to go to. Here is where we go to. So having that central location is great, because when you have all those local listings, on top of that with SEO, on top of that with billboards, this holiday would be like I'm predicting this will be your best holiday ever for business. This Q4 can definitely get to that point, because of all these great things that can happen as well. Austin said, never heard so many non-vegans discussing veganism. Oh
That
my
was
God.
hilarious.
I have a question for Mika.
Yes.
So, do you consider a vegan restaurant or a vegan bakery?
We're actually both. We're both a cafe and a bakery. And
Cafe and a
also
bakery.
a juice bar. We're the only juice bar in all of downtown. And yeah.
So you nothing. What's crazy is those are like three like sub niches in themselves.
Yes.
So like you can make as a or you can run all of those kind of. But what I was going to say is also look at the people also ask section on Google when you type in something like vegan restaurants or something near Legoland. Look at where it's like people also search for. Those are like nice little long tail keywords you can snatch up and rank for too.
Wow, that's genius. Genius. I do have a question, and I feel like I'm in a room full of experts, and I'm sure everyone in the audience has a website and they're wanting to get higher ranked in Yelp and in Google. uh, John mentioned earlier about the when you typed in Legoland vegan restaurants, and Yelp came up with the 10 best vegan restaurants near Legoland for my city. And a non-vegan restaurant came up, and I happened to be fourth on the list. And there's a lot of places that are not vegan that are on this list. And why are they ranking higher, like first and second? They're using, I guess, better search words. I'm not certain.
They probably put vegan options on there.
Ah, okay.
And they also
And then,
no, they also have an option now on Google where you can take the menu and it'll upload it right to your GMB now.
Got it. I thought that was,
and you know,
it was, uh, I, I was surprised to see that, like non-vegan places ranking before a vegan place, but that makes sense.
yeah, it's all about semantics. That's really what happens with Google, with Bing, all these platforms and algorithms. It's all boils down to the semantics. And that's why Yelp is doing well, Wedding Wire is doing well, Wikipedia is doing well. These websites are doing well because they are focusing on community-based keywords that people frequently say every day, and then they just match it to them. That's why sometimes even you see some people who, say, hey, watch this video on YouTube, and it has nothing to do with the topic on the thumbnail. That's because they're just trying to be clickbaity. That won't really get you anywhere. But if you're doing it specifically to help those people, then you're the one that they're going to come to. Because I started off this room with authority, where if you want to have authority online, you have to cover those four bases: the informational part, the navigational part, the commercial part, and the transactional part. It may take a while. It may take a while, but it's worth the while, because the lifespan of an article is about 24 months. That's 2 years. And I just talked about an article I saw from 2015. That's year nine. We're in year nine. If we think about the time it's been online without paying anything, just there, no competition. So imagine now 2034, God willing, you're still showing up for that same maybe 1 or 2 hours you spent on that article because it's specific to your niche. So just having those things with the semantics help, because it can really allow you to get that longevity. Instead of spending money on ads every time, you're only spending money on ads if you really have, let's say, an offer, like the client that we're working with that is doing the offer in New Orleans. She is focusing on an offer. She has, a discount offer for her business. It's a service, so she's not going to advertise it all the time. But that little time that it was advertised to amplify to those thousands, tens of thousands of people, that's good, because maybe some of them may have taken a screenshot or maybe taken a picture on their way when they're driving, and then they'll remember like a month or two later that, oh yeah, I remember seeing that one time. So it's that remembrance and making people just remember who you are, just by showing up consistently. So that was definitely, I think this masterclass was for you, Mika.
I
I
think
agree.
so. I think so. It was I really appreciate this. It was very, very valuable.
Did you take notes, Queen?
I actually did.
Okay.
She called me a nerd earlier.
Wait, wait,
Well,
wait. I'm a nerd too. And this kind of stuff, I'm a nerd.
uh,
You're a nerd like with Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing.
any disrespect against Lord of the Rings will not be tolerated. No, this was great.
So thank you, Mika. No, this was definitely good. I'm glad that we did this room at this time. Yeah, I think for me, I just go with my gut. I'm like, maybe I should switch the time. And I'm glad I did. Sometimes we have to sit and wait until something happens, but we can also be impatient and also be expectant too. So this was good. This was really, really good. So I'm glad we talked about this. We've had about an hour, actually an hour 30 minutes, so we've had a 90-minute masterclass in here, and I'm glad we've taken a lot of information in as well. So thank you all for joining, and appreciate you for all being here today. Before we go, I just wanted to, kick off by saying this, as we're about to wrap up, that if you are doing business to make impact, then the words you say are going to matter right from the beginning. John has talked about it before. Julia said it before. Carrie has said it before. Liverpool has said it too. Mika has said it. Soda has said it. Hidden has said it. The words you say will determine the money you get. Like that's just the truth. That's just the proportional value factor. Because if you want to let people know more about what you do, then you have to keep saying the same things over. It may sound like a broken record, but that's what makes records break. If that makes sense. You have to continue saying those same words, especially if you believe in them and you have faith in them and you can actually say them. A lot of people will learn from you, because when you educate someone, it changes, you know and you have to think about those things that happen for you. Like, you have to think about how you connect with people. I want to give a big shout out to Rocky, because she talked about this, I think, yesterday in one of the rooms. I think it was here on the other app, Chatter, and she said something that was really interesting. Yeah, it was yesterday, because she was mentioning too that I think Meta is working on something right now where, instead of them just restricting you or blocking you or terminating your account, she said that what they're doing now is they're educating you. So you have two strikes. The first strike is they'll educate you on what you did wrong. They're not going to punish you. They'll say, hey, you probably posted the wrong thing, or there's copyright infringement here, or maybe you said a word that was profane, or whatever it is. And you get educated, with their resources. The second time you do it, that means you really intentionally wanted to do it. Then you get kicked off. So why am I saying this or giving this example? When somebody wants to learn about your business, give them enough information to learn so they don't make the mistake of doubting or the mistake of second guessing what you do. Because if you just have one page talking about one thing, but you don't have supporting pages talking about other things that support what you're initially saying, then that would not be a good thing. It's like having a book with one chapter. Nobody will really read it. You might, but you won't get the full picture. If you have a book with 12 chapters, that makes sense, because now I can actually read from cover to cover. So the more you say, the less you have to prove yourself. The more you give, the less you have to stress yourself. So those are two things I wanted to leave you with, so that you can also think about how you use your words in your captions. Starting with the very first letter. Like, think about the very first letter. Look at the 26 letters of the alphabet and think about the very first letter, because that very first letter is going to lead you into a word, that's going to lead you into a phrase, that's going to lead you to a destination. So you have to think about how people are positioning you, so you can also get that position yourself as well. So I'm going to go around the room, and I'll start off with you, Hidden. What would you like to let people know about anything that we've talked about today? We've covered a lot, but is there anything you want to let them know? And then pass it on to Soda, to Mika. Soda just left. To Liverpool, Carrie, Julie, and then John. So go ahead, Hidden. Hidden, you there? It's probably muted and maybe busy. Come back to you, Mika.
Wow. Thank you for a great room. And let's see. Sorry, I was distracted by a wasp that flew in the house. What was that you said, Favor?
No worries. Be safe. I was just saying, like, what would you like
Thank
to let
you.
the new what would you like to let the room know? Anything that you'd want to, tell the room, connect, whatever it is, whether you want to let them know about you or what you learned. The floor is open. I don't want to restrict.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Uh, I can say this. The more I guess I've lived, the more I realize that I used to think I knew everything, and now I realize the more I know, the more I don't know. And as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, and I feel that I'm in a room, I'm in the right room with everyone that has a business or a podcast that they're seeking to monetize or are monetizing, that you do have a business and you have an entrepreneur mindset, is to be very, very flexible, and that there are seasons that you can't predict. Sometimes a winter may come before fall or come before summer, and a really great wave or a really great ride, we think that this is the new norm, and then you're thrown a curveball, and so seasons changes, and also just being very flexible with being adaptable. Allow yourself to be adaptable, and allow yourself to not be rigid, to not be rigid. And community is really important. I've noticed that that's what made this country great to begin with. They created masterminds and the founding fathers, and so there's great wealth in community, kind of like what we're doing this evening with this clubhouse. And so, if whatever field you are all in, just don't be solo, even if you are a solo entrepreneur. Community is really important to be able um, to relate and to not feel alone, and also to build up community. You're able to share clients, you're able to refer clients, and then it's something that I'm doing a lot now in my community. I'm advocating for people. I just noticed I'm talking too long. But anyway, community is important, and being flexible for the seasons. So my name is Mika, and it was a pleasure to connect with you all.
Same here, Mika. It's a pleasure connecting with you too. And please feel free to join the marketing club and cash in your ticket so you can connect with us. We are closing in on 350 members in here. We're at 349.4K, and would love to have you part of this amazing community too. And I also see you too there, Tazra. Thank you for joining. Please cash in your ticket too, so that you can be part of the community as well. Just want to make sure everybody is appreciated and also seen. Liverpool.
Hi Favour, this has been a great room and always dropping some really good gems. I've learnt a lot in this room as well. So one thing that I would like to kind of like reiterate is the importance of market research. Always always doing your market research in whatever field that you're in, understanding the people that you're targeting, to have a specific person. Each business will have a specific group of people that they're going to be targeting. Also understanding their competitors and what their competitors are doing, and kind of building a strategy around that, because that's what's going to help you keep afloat. Because if we think about it, in the world that we're in today, there's no unique product or service, so to speak. We are all the same. It's what we're going to bring. What do we do differently, and having a good old ponder about that, and really sticking to your vision, because that can be something that sets us apart from from other businesses, and that's very important to really narrow that down, and just really understanding that. And also I would also talk about that it's very important to also really stick to always try and take some risks as well, because sometimes people, as human beings, we don't like to take too big a risk. We like to stay within our comfort zone, and but also make also make strategic ones, because sometimes we can we can make rash decisions and it can end up blowing up in our faces, but also sometimes those risks can also really pay off. Nobody has a really big massive a crystal ball. Nobody can predict the future, because if we look during like the pandemic and stuff, a lot of businesses really suffered across the globe and everything like that, and a lot of business owners, if not small, if not big ones as well, had to really rethink their strategy and really think about what we're going to do in this current climate, and to always, with what Mika was saying as well, to always be malleable and not be rigid in everything that we do, because we don't always know everything, and also be open to learning brand new things as well. So that's one thing that I would say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, 100%. I believe in that. And we need to also look at it too from that big perspective. Thank you for that. Malleable. I'm getting that word. Okay. Carrie,
Yeah, just be ready to change on a dime and use your reflexes to keep fighting and keep generating new business and getting yourself in front of new people, and just be open. And I think not being rigid is good, and things are changing and so fast that we've got to adapt quicker than ever before. um, Today was really great for me because I have been working a ton this week, so much, and it is isolating because I sit there and I make all these images perfect for my clients. And then I was like, oh, Julie sent me a message, and I'm so excited that I got to spend some time with a community of friends. So thanks for having this room, and thanks for having me.
thanks for being here, Carrie. Appreciate you so much. Julie,
Well, what I learned is that I don't know anything. So thank you for reminding me that I don't know anything, but it's exciting to learn all the things that you're teaching us, Favor. And I appreciate everyone here. Love you all.
love you too, Julie. John,
Yeah, sorry I had to step away for a little bit. I was trying to volume down. I'm back. The main thing is, look, I just got done talking with my wife about her soon-to-be partner's business, and they don't even have a website, that which limits so much of what they can do. Here's what I tell people, and this is for me: you don't have to know all the answers to get started. Just get started. If you sit there and you try to find the answers first before you get started, you're putting yourself behind the eight ball. Get started, then get the answers, then get the experts, then hire people. But if you don't have anything in play, you're really working from a deficit. So thanks for the room. I appreciate everybody.
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hidden, are you there? Coming to you before I go to a tiff. Okay, Hidden is probably busy. But if you're back, please let us know. Atif, I saw your hand up. Wanted to just connect with you. Do you have a question, contribution? Feel free to connect with us here. Welcome. Atif, if you're speaking, hit that bottom right button with the mic on if you're speaking. Okay, he might not be here. Go
I'm
ahead, Hidden.
It
here,
might have even been a mistake.
Maybe.
for my
Favor.
kids running around, so it's a little loud. They're ready to play, so.
It's Friday. I don't want to take from their time. So we're gonna wrap this up soon. No problem. Atif, maybe that was a mistake, but thanks for joining. I see you got a ticket too. So please make sure you cash in your ticket so that you can be part of the marketing club. Oh, there you
Hi
are.
John, how are you?
Atif, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have.
What's your question?
I have a question. I don't know what we are searching from. a keyword in a search console which is ranked at top 10 searches, but the SEMrush is automation tool, or how can I rank a keyword from SEMrush?
How do you rank a keyword from SEMrush? That's a great question. I would say this. I'll keep it very simple because we're about to wrap up, and listen to this room, please, because this masterclass will help you. The replays are on. And if you tap on the three dots at the top before under live quietly, you can save this replay so that you can also listen to it after the room. But if you want to rank with a word on SEMrush, don't think about the words, think about the questions. If you think about the questions, then the words will come. So if you rank for one word, that's great, but that's just one word out of a billion words in the world. So if you want to rank for one word, that means you want to rank for a specific thing. I don't want to ask too many questions, but essentially, if you want to get that going, then of course you need a website. You need to have a strong email list that you can build, and you can also use the words within your email and your website to build on the words from SEMrush. So yes, you can get the words from SEMrush, but you need to take it from that property to your property, which is your website. And there's a whole lot that covers that. So this replay will give you all the insights you need. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to come back. We have rooms here on a weekly basis. Technically, it's every day these days, in the morning or in the evening, but you'll definitely see the schedule if it's available. And then if you have any questions, you can feel free to respond back to me, either through a chat or connect to me on LinkedIn, or even just click the link above so that you can get that question answered. But essentially, that's what you would do for your business at TIFF. Does that help?
So impressive. Really appreciated, but something confusion about in your answer. The confusion is so many words, the rank, so many, uh, I mean, so many same words, the rank on Search Console, which is related to digital marketing services. So I don't know. I am also provide a digital marketing service, but how may I rank my digital marketing service keyword? It, it's already ranked on Search Console. So can you please guide me about these things?
Are you trying to rank a local business or affiliate site or econ? What are you exactly trying to rank for?
My business related such as digital marketing service, which is related to gym and fitness, uh, uh, kinds of leads like fashion and apparels, like real estates, like constructions related leads, which I grab from the Search Console and Google Map and also directories. And I am collecting the data from there and sending from the Outlook and Gmails. But also I am working on my ranked website, but my website is related to digital marketing services, so I don't know about how may I rank on Search Console with SEMrush.
Are you trying to compete worldwide, or are you trying to compete in a certain country, or are you trying to compete in a local area? It depends on what you're trying. If you're trying to go worldwide, you got a lot of competition. You're right; it's gonna be hard to rank. But if you trying to rank just locally, you might get it's a better chance of winning. But if you're trying to go for digital marketing agencies worldwide, you gotta have the advertising budget to compete with those guys, like SEMrush and them.
Exactly. And I'll just say this quick too. If you want to rank online and you are serious about ranking online, then the words that you see in SEMrush, turn them into pages. How do you turn them into pages? By creating web pages for them with the keywords in the URL. So if you want to rank on those, think about the words and turn them into two things. One, they're hashtags or tags, And there are also URLs, which is Uniform Resource Locators. So if you can turn those keywords that you see on SEMrush into pages that have context with depth and also with subject matter expertise, then yeah, it's just a matter of time and you'll rank. But you also need to compete at a high level, like Hayden was saying. So there's so much to cover, and that's a whole nother room for this topic. But I hope what I said and what Hayden said helped you at least, move the needle a little bit and also at least take some action from here. Does that help you, Atif, before we go?
Thank you so much for your answer, for your kind response. Yeah, I can use also my content related hashtag from the related subjects and related niche. Uh, yeah, I can work on it. Uh, uh, I think we are collaborate from the whole public who is related from the uh, such kind of thousands followers and billions followers like I collaborate with those people, and my boss is already collaborate with anyone, and my boss review and other timeline like who collaborate with me. So it is I think work I don't know.
I
I'm
know, I
confused
know.
about this very competition in this industry.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for your kind response, brother.
You are welcome. And where are you located? Where are you exactly?
I am exactly located from here, Pakistan. So, which is the capital of Islamabad.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Atif. I know it's an international app, so I just wanted to respect that and thank you for joining us today. Yeah, there's so much you can learn from here. And if you're in this room, there are amazing people that you're on stage with, and they'll also help you out as well. Feel free to follow us so that you can connect and learn from us because we also have rooms individually in our own spaces.
Okay, brother. Brother, where are you from located?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, what a great. I also generating the leads, construction leads, which is the one of Houston.
That's great. That's great. That's great. We just got to keep going, man. Marketing doesn't stop. SEO doesn't stop. We don't stop. So we keep going. But this was great. Thank you for that question, Atif.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Okay,
All
take
right.
care.
Take care, man. Thanks for joining. This is great, y'all. I love that we were able to have this conversation today and cover. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. Like we're almost here for 2 hours now, just to help you because I know I wouldn't give this on a clubhouse, on a clubhouse from outside this clubhouse setting. So this kind of room, this kind of time I'm giving, it's invaluable because I want to just make sure that everybody is getting it. It's priceless. You can take the information. It's a masterclass, no holding back. But when we get on that phone call at the top, it's down to business, it's down to numbers, it's down to results, it's down to action so that we can actually achieve these things that we're talking about here and then come back and celebrate because we want to celebrate with you too. Your business is important to us. So that's why we want to make sure that you can thrive as well. I started off this room by saying, as a business, do you want to thrive or do you want to survive? The choice is yours. Thank you for joining this room. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed weekend. And I'm going to see y'all in the clubhouse streets very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.